guys, come on in. Just gonna let everyone in. Welcome, welcome. I just finished dinner, sorry. Like hustling over here to the computer. Grab your oils, whatever you have close by. I have Surrender and Journey On close by. So I'm gonna put them up. It's kind of fitting because we're talking about energy work tonight, right? So I don't know, maybe this will be fitting. Come on in, come on in. You guys, what oils are you putting on tonight? You can put in the chat or you can unmute yourself, whatever. Everyone has their cameras off. It's that slow summertime vibe. I feel it. This is how it usually rolls in the summertime. What oils? Oh, there's Janelle. I see you. What oils are you putting on tonight, ladies?
I did rosemary and lavender to help my brain.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, well, let's get started. And if anyone else pops in, I will just let them in. We have Amber. Well, it says Oxenrider. That was your maiden name, right? So
yeah.
Is it Fry or Frey?
It's Fry.
That's what I thought. Okay. So Amber is here tonight and she is a Reiki practitioner. Is that how you say it? I know everyone has a different, practitioner.
Yep.
And she's been seeing clients and she's here to teach us about Reiki. I have very little understanding about Reiki. So I'm really curious and I'm excited to learn. It's one of those modalities that kind of, I'll be honest, scares me. I'm like, ooh, you're working in my energy field. So that's why I'm like, I want to learn a little bit more about it. And I'm excited that you're here teaching and kind of opening up that world of what Reiki is and how it can help your body heal, how it's helped you. So I'm going to turn it over to Amber. Thank you for being here tonight, Amber, and sharing your wisdom with us.
So I just want to give a little disclaimer. I don't do a lot of classes, so bear with me. I do have notes because my brain I need structure. So if you see me looking, I do have notes. It's just easier for me. So I was thinking about it earlier, and again, I'm Amber. I was thinking about it earlier and I was like, wow, I say that my healing journey started like a year or 2 years ago, but really for me, it started when I got my oils kit and I didn't realize it at first until years later. Little backstory on me. That was like the foundation when everything changed. When I started learning, getting toxins out of the home and how to deal with anxiety in a different way. And also learning that I can have control in my own life. That was a big thing for me. Growing up was a little chaotic and having that sense of structure was not normal for me. So I kind of had to create that in my adulthood. So, got into oils, got into that kind of like, oh, we got rid of everything and having control for myself. And then I had my daughter in 2019. And if you are a parent, as well as I do that obviously having children is, no joke, but it brings out parts of yourself that you may have been hiding from or maybe didn't know you had stuffed down for so long, or traumas, to kind of wrap it in one word. And I had dealt with anxiety and depression my whole life, but everything just came out. Everything came out. And for a couple months, I had really bad postpartum. I was bad. And it was a couple months. It was October 31st, I believe, of that same year, 2019, that I said enough. enough of this, enough of the way I'm feeling. I can't, I need to take control. I need to, I need to take control. I have a baby. It's not just me anymore. Used to just let myself suffer. Now it's just not the way to go. So I started my healing journey, and I got therapy, which I'm not a stranger to. I had given up on it for a long time. I got therapy, and I got a life coach in the same, and they would go, I stacked them every other week, and I started working through my trauma and my anxiety, and looking for other natural ways to help myself through motherhood, through who I even was, because it was like this whole new world. Motherhood did not come naturally to me. We kind of had to grow together and learn what it meant to be mother and daughter and dad. So I started that journey, and not long into my journey, I was introduced to Reiki. And just like Sarah said, everyone has their own like stigma or misunderstanding, or just, the simple not understanding of what it is. And I was like, I don't know, it seems a little like above where I'm at. And it's really not. It's really not. So I kind of dove into that, and I got my Reiki 1 attunement, which is a 1-day thing. It's a couple hours. And Reiki 1 is basically where you're learning to do energy work on yourself. And then I got into Reiki 2, which means that you can work with clients and how to set your session, and, obviously make the client feel comfortable, because again, not everyone knows. It's a very vulnerable, I shouldn't say very vulnerable, but it is a vulnerable experience, because I'm in your energy field. We're working with emotions, all that. So that's a little backstory of how I got into it. It's just kind of taken off, and I have worked with clients already. I've had a good amount of sessions already, and I really enjoy having those sessions. I enjoy giving people time to themselves, and to rest, and to clear, which is the intention of the session. So a little bit of history with Reiki. It is a healing system, and it's based off of the laying of the hands. I don't know if that's like an older term. I don't refer to it as laying of the hands, but I think that has to do with a little bit of the history. So the form of Reiki that I work with is, and I don't remember how it was said to me, so I apologize. It's Usui, Usui. I can't remember if it's Usu or Usui. But that is what I am attuned in. And it was developed by a gentleman named Mikao Usui in the 1800s. And he was interested basically in the practices of Jesus, and how he healed, and what that looked like for him. So it kind of goes back into Buddhism and Christianity. Now, I am not a religious person. I am a little more spiritual, but I think Reiki obviously can flow among anyone, no matter who you are and what you believe in. But I thought that was kind of cool that it goes back to that time period of Jesus. So it can be religious or spiritual or whatever you align with. That's okay. Everyone has energy. It's not a religion-based process. We are all energetic beings. And from what I was taught in my Reiki 1 class, is that it is our birthright to flow Reiki. And that stuck with me for all this time. So the focus of a Reiki session is your chakra system, which I'm sure we've all heard of the chakras, worked with them, haven't worked with them, at least heard of them. So how it was kind of explained to me as well in the beginning is picture your chakra system from your crown to your root, which is basically where my C-section scar is, right in, in your groin area right above. You're imagining a garden hose, okay? And think of the garden hose getting a kink, okay? So when your garden hose, your chakra system gets a kink in it, you're not allowing the flow of water anymore, right? So that was the way it was explained to me, that when a chakra or energy center is blocked and not flowing properly, you can get basically body ailments or issues because of that. So chakras can be like kinks in a hose. If you don't get them stretched out and get them flowing again, it can create issues. The slowing down or stopping of energy flow can potentially create issues. Some positives of Reiki is, one, you have an allotted amount of time to lay down and not do anything. And that's one of the things that I think of first and foremost, especially since, a lot of us are moms, even if you're not, if you're a busy being, just taking the time to rest. I always point that out first and foremost. It is specific, allotted time for you to rest. We don't do that, Other positives are it reduces stress, which to me is an obvious. Reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, eases anxiety. Those things I think just come with the territory of being told to lay down and just relax. And that also, on the flip side, does have to do with your practitioner. You feel comfortable, you feel safe, you feel okay to be vulnerable and lay down and relax. It can help it can help insomnia. I've also seen that it can help raise the blood cell count. I'm not a scientist, but I just think that's fascinating. I think that also goes to my first point of relaxation for the body is so important. As American citizens, we think that the, just go mentality is where we need to be. And I think we forget sometimes what's at the core, So the relaxation piece is my biggest one. And that's what I invite my clients to do. And I hope, I haven't had a bad review, but I always hope that I make them feel comfortable, a nice, safe space. And I think that just comes with the relaxation, calming of anxiety, getting out of the house, I think is a helper. So I wanted to go to the chakra system. And if I'm going too fast, I guess I should look at okay, no chats. Okay, hopefully I'm not going too fast. So I'm not sure if everyone is aware of what the chakras are, but I will go over them with you. So at the very top, we have our crown chakra, and I can't remember all the things that they do because there's a lot of things that they do. So the crown chakra connects us to our higher selves. It connects us to spirit. It connects us to nature. This is your sub. This is everything. If we didn't have this, we wouldn't be here, doing all the things. So this part, this crown, is very important to take care of. Our third eye is our intuition. It's our knowing. It's if we allow ourselves to know. The third eye can absolutely be blocked, like me growing up. I knew things, but I didn't have the courage to, follow my intuition and know myself. So this can be blocked in that way of that gut feeling, knowing when something's not right or a situation might not be, safe. This is where you always have your intuitiveness. Next is your throat, which is a big one. Your throat is, how do I explain that? Obviously, it's expression, it's communication, it's thought as well. And it's safe haven too. Our voice is how people perceive us, one of the ways people perceive us. And it's speaking your truth and always honoring yourself. And these are things that I had to learn as I kind of went through the chakra system, because I thought I knew and I really didn't. So the throat is very important to me. Now that I, kind of communicate this and see. Okay, good night. Okay, love you. Okay, so sorry. I knew he was going to do that. So again, the throat's very important. That's our expression. That's how people know when they've crossed a line, when we tell them how much we love them. It's very important. Your heart center is your transformational piece. Says transforms physical into spiritual and unconditional love. This is one that I've had to work on a lot in the last couple months. It's very important. We hear this all the time: self-care, self-love. It's a very important one to sit with yourself and honor yourself and love yourself truly. And if it's not something that you're able to do, work with it. You don't have to be, and that's the thing that I want to say, is you don't have to be attuned. You don't have to be a Reiki practitioner to sit with your hand over your heart with your own energy and give back to yourself. Let's see, where are we at? The solar plexus, which is for us ladies, kind of right here under our boobs. And that's how one relates with the world. That's our fight or flight response, which, whoo, that's a heavy one, because that's how I lived most of my life growing up, fight or flight. And it's also how you handle stress. That's where that sits. Your sacral, which is right under your belly button, relationships to self, animals, nature. And then your root, like I said, it's right in your very top of your groin area. That one was very hard for me. That's your life force. And if we think as women, that's as close to, the vaginal area where our babies come out. So that's our life force energy, will to live, grounding, connection to earth. So I don't know if any ladies or gentlemen, I don't see anybody, just for my sake of anxiety. If you ever see anyone hold their heart and hold, kind of below, that's centering, that's grounding, that's holding yourself. And that's a deep breath. I don't know if anyone here meditates. That's something that I really got into. That truly, if you can stick with it, is amazing. But that's one of the main ones. It's hold your head, hold your heart, and your hand over your sacral root area, depending on where you want to go. And this is like a big stance to me, in my opinion, like in the spiritual world. This is like coming back to center, deep breath, sitting with yourself. So those are the chakras. There are some crystals, if anyone's into crystals, that kind of correlate with each chakra, and I can kind of go down the list here. So for your crown, clear quartz, which is a good one for the crown. Third eye, amethyst. Throat is blue lace agate. Heart is rose quartz or green calcite. Solar plexus, they have citrine. Sacral is red jasper. And root is hematite, which is funny because that's what I have with me for my anxiety tonight. So that's a really, any of the ites I found in my personal journey, are very strong and powerful, and I think work pretty good with anxiety people. So, oh, and I do kind of have another disclaimer. Obviously, just like our oils, just like any other natural thing, Reiki is not a cure. Reiki is not a cure. It is a form of prevention. So it's something that I use with my oils, with my meditation, with journaling, with any other modality that I have learned since this healing journey. It's just another form of relaxation, peace, ridding of negativity that's maybe just built up for years and years and years, and you never knew why. You were so angry or so quick to react or what have you. They're all tools to help you succeed in being the best person that you can be, and that's what I've learned from Reiki. It's like I said, your heart and your solar, it's just bringing you back to self. If you learn nothing else, I don't know, that's how I see Reiki. It's the ultimate way of coming back to yourself and holding yourself when maybe you weren't held in a time that you needed to be. You can give that back to yourself. So I did write, I did find some oils as well that correlate with each chakra. And there was a bunch, and I kind of intuitively thought, what would I use and what do I feel is most appropriate for each chakra? So for the crown, white Angelica and present time. Those two just, I mean, I don't know. I just think they're perfect, the ones that I've picked. Maybe I'm patting myself on the back there a little too much, but I just think white Angelica, clearing the negativity, present time. I mean, how perfect is that? The name is what the oil does. So those two were just perfect to me for that main hub area. Third eye, awaken, envision, clarity. How perfect to open up that intuitive cave, if you will, if maybe you haven't explored that part of yourself. And with Reiki, so you would put the oil on your two main fingers here, and I would just hold. I would hold into that area, and obviously you put it on your crown, and you can move your energy through that as well. So that's how I would do that, is take the two, have the oil, put it on. Throat chakra, release is almost, a given. Believing in your word, believing in your intuition, in yourself, in what you have to say. And one was Endoflex, which, you have to kind of do that one because it does more than helps hormones. So I threw that one on there as well. But release and believe were two that I thought, yep, those are perfect. And again, putting the oils on the first pointer in the middle, you can hold it there, and then you can cup if you're comfortable. Little tidbit, that is something that as practitioners, we are told to always make sure and ask if there is a place on the body that the client might not be comfortable with us being near or touching. We can do a hovering, or we can always do the throat from the back. I always try to make sure that I am conscious of that. So if you're not comfortable holding your own neck, you can always just do the two fingers there, or you can do the side. There's no wrong way of holding yourself, just as long as you feel comfortable and it's right and aligned for you. Just want to throw that out there. The heart, joy was the first one I picked up because that one is just perfect for over the heart to hold again. And I hated joy in the beginning. I really did. And I think it was the smell. And I think it was just the word joy. And I was just like, screw this. I can't. I don't want joy. I hate joyous people. Why is everybody so happy? Like that was how I was back in the day. Very angry, very like positive people are so weird. And it's not about being positive all the time. It's your perspective. And it's working through those things to have a better perspective, to sit with things easier. So joy over the heart, forgiveness. That one was huge. That one hit me in the heart, in the gut. And I was like, yes, forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. My God, we could all use forgiveness. We all have work to do with forgiveness. And the third one I did for the heart was gratitude. Gratitude for self, gratitude for this journey that has brought you this far. So again, I put a lot of thought into these oils and intuition, and I get chills because I'm like, oh my God, they're so perfect. So our solar plexus, we're working right here in the center. Harmony, beautiful blend. That's perfect. And peace and calming. Some of the other ones weren't really sticking out to me. So I thought, okay, peace and calming, we can do that. Was not a favorite of mine either, but it gets the job done and it does what it's supposed to do. So your sacral right above your root, bergamot. That was one of the first oils I fell in love with, anxiety speaking. The smell, the feeling, it's perfect. And patchouli. That one was a little out there, but I thought, you know what? I like it. And then last but not least is the root. And that one is, of course, grounding. That's your ground. That's your center. That's your stance. That's where we hold a lot of our traumas. Especially for me, it was birth trauma and it just happened to be in the same area. So grounding and abundance. Because we don't have to sit in the trauma. We don't have to do the same thing every day. We have the power to change. We have the power to pivot. We have the power to move and make our life in the present better. We don't have to sit in the shit. Sorry. But we don't. We don't. And again, going back to myself and my story, I had to tell myself that. For a long, long time, I sat in my own shit and I had my pity party and I was not willing to be positive Patty and I wasn't willing to change. And here I am with new perspective. So if you didn't get those, you can put it in the chat or you can always reach out to me. I do have the list here. I did write down some affirmations as well. But I don't know how much time or how fast I'm going, or if you want me to, if you guys are interested, I can certainly give you some affirmations if you're willing to do some sitting with yourself. What do you think, Sarah? Would you like some affirmations or?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, it's 8:30. And if you want to give the affirmations or would it be more helpful if you said you have the notes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you put them in the Facebook thread and then maybe even in our group, and then we can have them and print them out because these oils are like, you are spot on with all these oils. I keep them on my dresser.
I really sat and like put focus on it and I was like, oh my God, they're so perfect.
Yes, they are. And I keep these by my dresser every morning and I do the same thing. There's a few that I'm going to add, like the bergamot and patchouli, but all of those incredible. Did you go to classes to learn Reiki? Did you go to school?
Yeah. Yes. So I started my healing journey at Soul Centered Wellness in Leesport. Mm-hmm. It was a class that was offered, and in my ignorance, I thought it was just a class to learn about Reiki. I didn't even know I was getting attuned. So I kind of stumbled into it. And I believe it was like 3 or 4 hours. That we learned all about the chakras, all about the history, all the 9, and then how to work with ourselves. So yes, I did do classes for both Reiki 1 and 2. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And so when you work on someone, you are doing the same thing that you were explaining for us to do to ourselves, where do you use the oils and then you lay your hands on folks?
I haven't done oils yet.
Okay.
When I was done with getting attuned with Reiki 1 and Reiki 2, I just wanted to solely focus on the Reiki and the energy and the practice. I am starting to do an emotional release with oils and Reiki. So I am now just starting to incorporate that. I wanted to kind of get my feet wet, understand what a client, practitioner setting, it's just me and the person would look like. So I am just starting to do oils.
Yeah. Because they're not being vulnerable, but you are open to what's going to happen,
Yes. And with you saying that,
release.
I was given tools on how to protect myself. Energy work. So basically it's, if I remember correctly, I'm envisioning, and I know this might not be for everybody, but it does have its place and it does work and it is real. So envisioning a big purple circle that's just around my heart. So I hold and I envision that, and this is before the client. And then I'm extending outward. So I'm creating my energy bubble around me, and that's a white circle. And I'm holding that. And I hold that for a few moments. And that is how I clear myself. And that is how I protect myself before clients. And then there's also symbols that I use that I was taught to close a client session. So I'm not, and I usually end at the feet. So I'm not taking any of their energy with me, and I'm protecting myself and them, of course, and the client as much as possible. So they're not taking my stuff also.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. It's intense. And I know from my mom also does the emotional release, and she's always like, this is intense. The energy field that you're in. And what an amazing story you have, Amber. If anyone has questions, please put them in now. Or you can reach out to Amber as well. Maybe Amber, you can put your contact information if anyone wants to get in touch with you for a session, but just how you have taken yourself sitting in your shit. I love how you say that.
Yep.
It's so true. And we can get stuck in that cycle. But you took it for your own healing, but now you have that story to tell, and you get to help others on the journey. It's not the one and I like what you said. It's not like, oils don't heal us. The Reiki doesn't heal us. It's a preventative. It's a journey. Yeah. So I'm so proud of you. I am. And
thank you.
Yeah. And I'm going to start using grounding on my C-section. What's the root? Because that birth trauma is real. So.
Well, yeah, that's just basically when I first learned, and she's like, put your hand on your belly. I didn't want to. I couldn't, because I had so much. So yes, grounding on the C-section.
Yeah. I've gone through some therapy and had some sessions with when you see things line up from past generations to bringing children into the world. And it really is all
Oh yeah. Especially if you come from an intense, even if you don't come from an intense, but you know what I mean? Like if you come from some stuff back.
Every family has stuff,
and then you have kids and they're like, okay, here you go off on your own and teach them. And you're like, we gotta rewind and fix some of that. Yeah. So.
And I'm glad you learned that. There's so many parents that don't know that, I'm not calling anyone out. It's just, I know we know it's there. And so I'm glad that you are working on that. And I love that. So Amber put her information there, and Amber, if you can put the affirmations, or even if you just message them to me, and I can put them in the Facebook group with the replay of this and in our Facebook group, that would be great.
Yeah. Because I am not tech savvy. So if you're okay with making it pretty, I'll give you everything I got. So,
Sounds great.
oh,
Well,
and one more thing, I
yeah.
did want to leave you guys with this. This is one of my favorite quotes. It is, what is it called? I'll have to give it to you because I'm blanking on what it's called, but it's a deck. It's an oily deck that has like affirmations on them. And Palo Santo, ironically, is an oil that speaks to my soul. Like legit. First time I lit Palo Santo, I was like, oh my God, where have I been? So the quote on that card is, if you take anything, I release all energy that no longer serves me, all negativity that surrounds me, and all fears that limit me. And I feel like that is just the perfect quote for everybody to just say every day, because I think it covers all bases.
Yes.
I just wanted to share that one too.
That's great. Start every day with that.
Yes.
Every day. Oh, and I do have a book. Do you have this book, Amber? It's called Ultimate Balance.
Ooh, no, I've never even heard of that one.
Ultimate Balance by Dr. Leanne Dearduff, infusing the vibrational energy of essential oils into chakras, meridians, and organs.
Ooh.
It's deep, it's fascinating, and it has like a time clock of like, say you wake up at 2 o'clock every 2 a.m. every morning. Well, what organ is connected to that? There's like the chakras. So it's fascinating. So I'm going to write that down here.
Yes, please do.
I thought maybe you would enjoy that.
Yeah.
I can't spell. Balance.
Keep my quote. Oh, yes. I'll put it in the chat before we go. So it's, I release all energy that no longer serves me. There we go. All negativity that surrounds me, which if we're all in this world, we know that's pretty vital right now. And all fears that limit me. I just think it's perfect.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you, ladies.
Well, thank you, Amber. I appreciate it. And next week, we're going to have Molly Kaufman back. She talked to us about Ayurvedic medicine. Was that back in March, I think? Maybe even before that. I think it was March. And she's going to be doing seasonal Ayurvedic, just what it looks like in each season, Ayurveda, what does it look like in summer? And so she's going to be teaching us about movement in summertime, moving with your body, what to eat according to, Ayurveda, and eating seasonally for your body. And also Friday night for our team is Friday night dinner here at my house. We're going to be putting together charcuterie boards. Just bring something to add to the charcuterie board. And we're going to be putting together vision boards, because I think it's important for us to have vision. And this kind of goes along the same lines as like energy. But I think for me, I lost vision the last 2 years because of all the crap, right? And we just get distracted, and it's time to get our vision back, and still, I mean, there's just so much negativity out there, but what do you want? How do you want to create your life? How do you want to create your future? So come together around the table and just be around like-minded friends. That is Friday night on my farm. That's in our group. So thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next Monday. Thank you so much, Amber.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.